Hey, what's happening there, living environment fans? You know, we've been spending some time with microscopes, and hopefully you've used them to learn a little something more about cells and how we can use technology to learn about things, right? Before there was a microscope, before the microscope was invented, nobody could even imagine that there would be little microscopic cells that make up all these big animals and plants and things. But now we know we can look inside and see structures, and then we can figure out what it is that they do. So let's take a look at some of the things we did with our microscope in today's Bellringer.
All right.
Hey now.
Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interested too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
Say hello to Mike, my microscope. First of all, we always start looking for things in the scanning lens, the low power lens. This has a magnification of 4x. The eyepiece has a magnification of 10x. What is the total magnification when looking at this lens? Good. And then when we put our specimen on the stage, right? The specimen's on a clear piece of glass. What do we call that clear piece of glass? Excellent, that's the slide. And then when we look at the specimen, we want to bring the lens as close as we can to the specimen and then slowly move it until it comes into focus. We use this large knob, which is called, that's right. And then if we want to see the specimen in bigger magnifications, we can just turn this revolving nose piece here and move a different lens into place. What do we call these lenses? Great. So you looked at all kinds of cells, right? You looked at plant cells and animal cells, and you were tasked to find the difference between both. These, of course, are cheek cells. Are they plant or animal cells? Good, right? And then, of course, we use this chemical called methylene blue to stain them. And because we stain them, we're able to see this organelle that's found near the middle of these. So these cells always remind me of like blue fried eggs. You know, like there's the yolk, then the fried. What do we call that? Good. And then that's really the only organelle we can see. We can see the outer boundary, the cell membrane, and we can see the cytoplasm. But really, with a compound light microscope, we can see the nucleus and really not much else. Okay, so it was the invention of the electron microscope that allowed us to see that there were even smaller substructures inside of the cytoplasm of cells. Here, right now, what I want you to do, name a substructure, an organelle that is found in the cytoplasm of all cells, both autotrophs and heterotrophs. And then tell me what it is that organelle does for a job, and then give me an analogy, right? But it's got to be found in both plant and animal cells. Pretty impressive. Very good. You guys know your stuff. And of course, we've been looking at all kinds of cells. Let me get right? You looked at blood. You know, the count would count those blood cells. One little blood cell. Two little blood cells. Three. Remember the count? All right. Let's see what else I got for you today. Today, of course, we have class. We're going to, after this Bellringer, I've got an Ed puzzle for you. And then you're going to finish up the Help Wanted assignment that I gave to you yesterday. And then I'm going to remind you that today is Friday. You could tell by the song. There's no school on Monday. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So that's a federal holiday, and we will not have school in session. When you come on Tuesday, the next week, the 17th, you'll have part 1 of your midterm exam. And then on Wednesday will be part 2. Okay? And then also in there, I've got to have a book talk and all that stuff too. So yeah, we're going to wrap up the quarter next week. All right, friends, have a great rest of your day.